Hey guys, so we are playing the Stanley Parable. Now, this game is part of my interactive narrative game series. If you don't know what that is, if this is the first time you're clicking on a video in that series, I am basically taking a college summer course, which is called Interactive Narrative Games, of course. Basically, what we've been doing so far is we've been playing 2 games a week. Now it's gone down to 1 game, where we have to kind of look into it, figure out why it's a narrative game, the elements, look at the elements within the game, and like each week my professor will suggest something new to kind of focus on. For the first week, we focused on music and direction. For the second week, we focused on realism and like the environment of the game. For this week, it's a little bit, I guess, easier maybe because the main thing he said was just compare this game to Dear Esther. And you might be wondering, that's a little bit strange. Basically, this game and Dear Esther were both Half-Life mods. I think it's Half-Life mods. Half-Life 2 mods, maybe? They were both those. Dear Esther being earlier than Stanley Parable, but they both kind of originated the same way. So he wanted us to kind of look at it, compare it. Why would you possibly like one game more than the other? What are the differences? As well as in Stanley Parable, kind of discuss what the elements of this game. Every other game we've been basically just walking around, listening to a story, not really interacting with it as much, except for Walden a game. So it's basically look into this kind of like, I'm not describing it properly. Just look into the game, because Stanley Parable is obviously a parody. What makes it a parody compared to the other games? What is the stark difference between this game and the other games we played, which were Gone Home, Firewatch, Dear Esther, and Walden a game. Those are the 4 games we played so far. So, also, this is not a blind Let's Play. I have played this game a few times, not that many. I've played it maybe twice, 3 times, but I have watched a bunch of YouTubers play this game. I've watched so many YouTubers play this game, so I know what's going on. I know the multiple endings and kind of how you should unlock them. I know there are a few that I'm not 100% sure on. And I'm currently doing this game on a Tuesday. And you might be wondering, okay, that's kind of a strange thing to mention. So you're playing it on Tuesday. There's an achievement for playing it all of Tuesday. It's basically starting at 11:59 p.m. on a Monday and carrying on until midnight on Tuesday. So I guess going to 12:01 on Wednesday. And this should be achievement. So I am currently doing that. There is an impossible achievement which I will be trying to get. And everything else I kind of know. Everything else I have a vague idea of how to get. So we will see. Except for there is one achievement where it says go outside, do not play this game for 5 years. We're probably not going to get that right away unless I cheat, which I might. We'll see. But let's just get into the game. I adjusted the subtitles and all of that, so we should be good.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So we are going to follow the normal storyline first to get the normal ending, and then we're gonna kind of branch out and do what we want. So let's walk out, Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yep, it's definitely empty. There's a thing on. What is that? What game is that? Also, okay, quickly mentioning music, direction, and like mouse interactivity with the game compared to the past games. There is no zoom button. Usually the right click mouse button would be zoom. That is not an option. There is no jump. I previously got the jump achievement, which is clicking spacebar multiple times and it says like there's no jump. It's not available in this game. That's an achievement. I don't think you can't pick up objects. So everything other than Dear Esther, you were able to pick up objects and just kind of like look at them. That's not an option here, but you can click on stuff and things you click at will make noise like this. You see, there is noise, which means the clicking is an option, just not picking up. So what else? Direction wise, we get more direction compared to Dear Esther, I would say, and Gone Home. No, compared to Dear Esther, we get more direction, because Dear Esther, you got no direction at all. You just started on a kind of a pier and had to just figure it out on your own. Gone Home, these are all spoilers, so if you haven't played any of those games, I'm gonna spoil everything. Gone Home, even though there was no technical direction, we got a note telling us, kind of pushing us in what direction we should go. Firewatch, there were a bunch of instructions, and Walden, sorry, they were...
Stanley stood for a long time in one spot. It's part of a game. He likes to see how long he can go without dying.
Okay, I'm
so far,
sorry.
He's doing excellent, and if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
Alright, okay. So I'll keep talking then. Walden, a game had directions, kind of. It kind of told you, like, not direction, like, what you need to do exactly, but you would get notes kind of telling you, oh, I need help with this, can you go here? Or, you know, we had a map that had indications of where we should go. So this game kind of has the same... This game, we have a narrator that actually tells us where to go. And another cool thing about this game is that we actually are constantly talking or interacting with someone else. That wasn't the case in Gone Home, where we just listened to our sister's journal entries. And in Dear Esther, we didn't have that. Only in Firewatch and in Walden, a game that we had people we could interact with, kind of. With Firewatch being Delilah in the other watchtower, and in Walden, a game we had Mr. Emerson, and we actually saw Mr. Emerson, and we saw people, but we mainly interacted with Mr. Emerson like face to face. So in this game, it's kind of like, this game's kind of like Firewatch, I guess, where you hear the voice but you don't see the body. Only this time, the person you're interacting with is the narrator and kind of controls what you do and how you interact. So that's interesting. Are you not going to comment? Narrator. Okay, I'm leaving.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright. And there's no music in this game. Like, listen. There's no music. There was music in the beginning. There's no music right now. But during certain scenes, I know music comes when it's like more important. Maybe ending scenes, music comes, if I remember correctly. Meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker? Let it. Okay, never mind. Has a slick blue graph in the header. Okay. Everyone is unique, you most of all. Yeah, that's a lie. Okay. Post review. Number of slides on this slide. Mini charts and slides, okay? Alright, let's go. Oh god, I'm stuck. Broom closet. We will get the broom closet ending after this.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So let's do that. Again, I said I am getting the normal ending right now. I am not worrying about any other secret ending until after we get the normal ending. Can I no.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
But look at this office.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
Yes, Stanley.
What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
2845.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Nope. Let me out! Nope. It's too bad Stanley did not know this. He just has to sit around and do nothing because he does not know his boss's PIN.
Stanley just sat around
or his
twiddling
manager's
his
PIN.
thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Nope. I wonder if it's 00000.
2845.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad,
5,
knowing full
6,
well the sheer
7,
statistical unlikelihood
8.
that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in.
All right.
And the door just opened all by itself.
Oh, nice.
And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Alright, cool.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door
Mind control
that read,
facility.
Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Escape. No, it's no escape. We will be back. We will be back.
The The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Keep on walking. I'm here.
Now the monitors jumped to
Oh,
life. Their
fired.
true nature
104
revealed.
was fired.
Each bore the number of an employee
601
in
is
the
fired.
building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Which one am I?
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That kind of looks like mine. If you see it right there, hold on. Or maybe not. I don't think I had a box next to me. Employee. Oh, what is? Okay.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
160 and 260, they both have the same desk, I think. Not 160, 175 maybe? Hold on, come back. No, it is 160 and 260. They both have the same thing.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
This is the normal ending, okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, Stanley would do this. Stanley, who's been pushing buttons for his entire work days, will okay. Can I click that? That looks like a button I should click, right? Nope. Five.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So, off.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
But what if I don't want to? Are you going to say anything if I don't?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. Okay, so that was the Stanley Parable. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, let us move on to the more interesting endings. Not gonna just end it there. We have to write like page reports on the games usually. I'm gonna spend a page writing about a 17-minute playthrough of the game now. So, why don't we just wait in here? Stanley got up and looked for his coworkers. Nah, Stanley just sat here and clicked buttons. Am I gonna get a response from that? 427. Anything? Narrator, do you have no comment for me? No? I guess not. Narrator, where are your comments? No comments from the narrator. He's left me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So let's...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's do something exciting. 4:30. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort.
Of course you
Measly
can't.
5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times.
20
I would
times.
say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Of course. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
I have to say,
15,
I'm still not feeling the satisfaction
16,
of witnessing
17,
true effort for a noble
18,
cause.
19.
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Okay, never mind. No more counting, just clicking. This is the game. This is the entirety of the game. We're going to click a door 50 times until we get an achievement. So maybe go take a break. Maybe go get some food, go to the bathroom, get some water, because we're going to be here for a little bit.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into
20.
door number 417?
417. Where's 417? 417. 425. 420. Did I just miss 417? There it is. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Great. Now, go
17.
click a few times on door 437.
Oh god damn it. 437. 4. The door closed on me. But the door closed on me. Where was 437? Shit. Shit. I already screwed up the achievement. But this door closed on me. I had no...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know what? You know what, narrator? You know what? You closed the door on me. I'm going here.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room.
Can I get a drink?
What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
And I'll just wait here.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yep.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and
It has a vending machine though.
Really worth it.
Vending machine, dude, come on. It has cold drinks.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Everyone left. Every single person left because of me. Okay. Look at that machine. Such
Stanley
a beautiful
sat around
machine.
waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a
Well,
message.
you're still talking to me, dude, so I don't think so. Nothing? Ah. So sad. Let us move on then.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired
Do
years
not
ago.
lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Warning. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look,
So
Stanley,
we
I think
shall
perhaps
test
we've
that.
gotten off on the wrong foot
Whoops.
here. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
And we have death in this game. Okay. Previous games, we did not have death. There was no way to die. Gone Home, there was no way. Firewatch, in the end, all the way at the end, you have the option of either getting on a helicopter to fly to safety, or kind of staying in the forest where you can, I guess, just burn to death because the forest was on fire. So that's a death, but that's not like, that doesn't really count as a death, I guess, because it's the end game pretty much. It is a choice you can make, but still. Um, Dear Esther, you have the options to drown yourself and jump off a cliff or walk off a cliff. But then you don't die, you come back to life. And then you do die in the end, where the narrator kills himself. Or what I assume kills himself. There are different theories about the game. Walden, a game, I don't think you can't die. You can't, because if it's an experiment based on real life, you cannot die. You can pass out. You can just pass out pretty much. You can kind of starve yourself, not eat or anything, but that won't kill you. That'll just make you tired and make everything go slow. And that game's already slow, so this is actual dying within the game.
Someone
me
was following
see.
Stanley. He
Yeah,
was sure of
4?
it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
You see, 437 was here, but the doors closed on me. So that was a little bit... We'll do that last. You see, it didn't... Was it not supposed to close on me? Was that a glitch? Whatever. We will do that last, since it's such an exciting thing to do.
When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way
It
to
wasn't.
the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
I want to
just
check out the vending
admire
machine.
it. The lounge was sublime.
Checking out the vending
A work
machine.
of art.
Let us go.
What was it about this room? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can
We're
be
gonna do
difficult, but
a
the
thing.
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting.
No!
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to
Whoops.
do,
Whoops.
Stanley leapt from the platform
I didn't mean
and
to.
plunged to his death.
I'm sorry.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I didn't mean... I missed. I know. I was too eager. Ah. What? What the fuck? What the
All
shit?
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What the shit is
Stanley
this?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What the shit is this? Okay. I've never seen this.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
I'm
he
still not
entered the
doing
door on
it.
his left.
I'm still not
This
doing
was
it.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this
Vending
incredible
machine,
room,
vending
Stanley
machine.
for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle.
Tingle. Vending machine. We need $1.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating
Alright,
that even
alright.
though all your... But eager to get
Nope.
back to business, Stanley took the first
I'm
open
not.
door on his left.
I'm not, though. I'm really not going to do that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
We're gonna jump
Look,
this
Stanley,
way.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your
Read all
trust
the
in someone
boxes.
else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone
Oh,
you've been
whoa,
neglecting,
whoops.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Danger everywhere. 2B1. 2B3.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
You think I will listen?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked
To
through
the blue
red
door. To the blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red door, blue door.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map. Because
Whoops.
you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
We pissed him
Do
off.
not think I put
He's
a lot of
angry.
time into that, because I did.
You did.
And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Yes. Good job.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
I don't think you have a
Can't
soul.
teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. Good old Neil is in first place. Did you know that 21 players skipped the intro sequence? This is you. We are in last. We are last. In total, okay. Why not ask for friends for help? Friend list is empty. This is your superior, a dead rat. That's, oh, rude, man. Alright. Let's go through that door again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard
Nope.
helped you feel motivated
Nope.
to keep walking through
No,
doors?
definitely
Again,
not.
Honest answers, please.
Nope.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay. Is this... Are we playing... Oh,
In
the
this
baby.
game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been
4
playing it
hours.
for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
This is an achievement for this, by the way. To actually play it for 4 hours. I'm not playing it for 4 hours. Bye, babe.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Both.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Okay.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's
There it
game?
is.
Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
Going into Minecraft.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yep, we're going into Minecraft. Minecraft.
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
It is.
At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then. Let's see, what does it need? Yes.
Well, you're
of
terrible
course,
at-
and just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete.
That's a terrible house.
I made this, Stanley. Look at it.
Nope.
Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
This is like old Minecraft. Because Minecraft's kind of advanced in the years. And there are a lot of mods for Minecraft. I used to play Minecraft. And then I didn't. Are you gonna say anything else? If I don't get into your shitty little house?
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect?
Not
It could
really.
only be better if... Wait, that's it. We
Diamond.
must rebuild it out of diamond.
Diamond.
Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Ah. There's music. Is this Minecraft music? I mean, of course it's not Minecraft music because copyright and everything. Kind of sounds like it a little bit. More than Stanley Parable music. Let us go mining. We need some torches.
It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Why would I bring a light? You bring a light. You wanted to go...
No, this is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant.
If you
This
heard
won't do
that.
At all, 1 out of 5.
That was a
Even
motorcycle.
the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Oh, shit. There was a zombie behind us. But yeah, that was a motorcycle. Very loud. New York.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You
Portal.
trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspiring.
Portal.
I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I
Portal.
can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
It's Portal. Where's my gun?
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley.
Give me the cube.
Your forte.
Oh, we can't pick stuff up now.
Genius.
But that doesn't count as a Stanley Parable. That counts as Portal.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games.
No!
And I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as...
Nope. Not even listen to you. Whoops. Narrator. I don't know what I did. Did I... Whoops. Okay, I don't remember this. I definitely do not remember this, watching playthroughs of the game. What the hell? And it's so dark, I don't know if you can see this on recording. Narrator, what am I supposed to do? I'm sorry. What the fuck?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Well, that wasn't creepy at all, right? Okay, I never remembered any of that, watching any of that. So that was kind of interesting. Kind of creepy. And I kind of felt like, in a way, maybe it would be horror-ish, because it was like a dark room. There were many passages, kind of like something could chase after you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Man, can I not achieve that 4:30 thing? Cause look.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Alright, dude, let's do things your way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply, madly love.
You can't have sex with this room. That is not an option, Stanley. That is not an option, narrator.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
We're doing
it's
this
incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
how they want us to do it.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her. Who is
This it,
her?
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside.
I can still jump
Let
off.
her back
Right
into
here, I can
your
still
life.
jump off.
She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
We had another option to do something in that room, which I will do after this.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Can I go?
All right. Okay, there we go.
Why is there a lamp in the hallway?
And tell me all about
Your damn.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Hush.
I'm trying to make a point here,
Dude.
Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I really rather not.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Are you kidding me? Seriously? He actually blocked it off. Let me out. Nope. But that was cool. He actually kind of like anticipated that and blocked me off.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Do not kill me, woman. But dude, this is like a really lame apartment. I mean, I guess it fits for one person. Press Y.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press R.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of
You
his
don't have to take my
coworkers,
TV,
his
though.
boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
H.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
9.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby.
The baby.
And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Stanley Parable. Tell your kids. What kids?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Our wife is creepy.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. I'm not gonna press it. You're gonna make me press it, aren't you?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please
And Stanley
die.
pushed a button.
What?
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay. Alright. Now we are going to do that again. Oh. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Do you not
What could it
see
mean?
all the papers?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Lot of papers just scattered around.
When Stanley came to a set of two
No.
open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
He did.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little.
Oh.
This made him smile.
Ew.
At last, proof that he was human.
No,
But
narrator.
eager to get back to
No.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
This will probably be the last
Stanley,
time
I think
we
perhaps
go
we've
into
gotten
this
off on the
location,
wrong foot
I think.
here. I'm not your enemy.
I think the
really.
final thing I'm gonna do
I realize that
is
investing your trust in
the
someone else
last,
can be difficult,
like, interesting
but the
thing you
fact
can
is
do
that
in
the
this
story
area.
has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
for her.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, 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 no.
Yep.
Did
That's
you
it.
just unplug the phone?
I did.
That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two
Nope.
pledge themselves
Nope.
to one another.
That is not true.
Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
What?
You're not Stanley. You're a
Oh.
real person.
Yep.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This
Finally
is why
got
you've
it.
been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
I really don't.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with
2
a
plus 4
person who
equals
does
fish.
not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real.
It's not real.
Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
I don't have a partner though. I don't have a partner. I am alone. I am alone. Who am I supposed to practice with? I only had the narrator.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
8 choices.
Do you make more than 8?
Maybe.
Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant. And the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Let us go. Come on, Stanley. Don't get stuck. And this is gated off, so we can't jump off.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
So are we going all the way back to the beginning? We are.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
No.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
I won't.
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his right.
No! Why did you do that?
Oh.
Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
On his right. Let me go through. Let me go. Ah.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe
Oh.
after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever.
reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
No, you don't.
I have to.
You don't. Oh. Are they UFOs? What was that?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yes?
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Oh, shit.
That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it?
Not really.
That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
He entered the one on his right. On his right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
Is it gonna keep on resetting until I actually go in the right
Behave
direction?
exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his left.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not getting
Wave of
fired.
disbelief,
Talk less.
Stanley decided to
Don't
go up
get
to his
fired.
boss's office, hoping he might
I don't
find
care,
an answer
dude.
there.
Oh, is that... No. Aw, sucks.
Coming
Ah,
to the staircase,
really?
Stanley walked
Really?
upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, we're going. Oh, it doesn't say executive bathroom anymore.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
Voice
Surely
receiver.
behind
That's
this door
different.
lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Are you gonna speak, Stanley? Hello?
Stanley spoke
Night
the
Shark
code.
115.
Night Shark 115.
Night Shark
He
115.
spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously.
Does he, though?
If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Oh my god. Okay, he has... Oh, dude, what the hell?
Stanley? Hello?
What the fuck?
Is everything okay?
What the hell?
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door.
What the fuck?
Are you listening to
Thank you for playing the Stanley Parable.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is
Credits.
important.
Oh shit.
The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
See how desperate he is now? You hear him?
Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait.
Oh.
You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Oh, that was sad. that was a little bit depressing. Because you could hear how kind of desperate he was to get us moving. But then of course he wouldn't move because he would have to be controlled by a real person. But what I found interesting, I guess, is in all the narrative games we played, we've always had a choice, kind of what to do. We've always ended up in around the same area at the end, but the way to get there has always been different. You can go a different way, pick up a different object. It'll always be a little bit different. So it was kind of interesting here where you kind of do that. You play differently, but then you get narrator who is angry that you didn't follow his exact storyline, which is not a game, really. A game has you make choices. It has you play the way you kind of want to play it, because you are the player of the game. You figure out what to do, where you want to go. It's up to you. It's your game. Whereas if you have to follow it, if it has to be so linear where you have to follow exact storyline where you can kind of imagine in your head but you have to follow it to the exact point, that's kind of more like a novel reading a book, because it'll always be the same path no matter what you do. However depends on no matter how you read it, it'll always be the same. And that's kind of what he wanted in a way. He wanted you to follow exact path, go through the exact motions he wanted you to do.
Stanley stood for a long time in one spot. It's part of a game. He likes to see how long he can go without dying.
So that was
so far,
interesting.
He's doing excellent. And if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure he'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
Okay. Like in Walden game, you can make so many choices. You can either go into the town, you cannot, you can talk to Emerson, you cannot, you can help the slaves, you cannot. You have so many options, but they lead to the same ending. Gone Home, you can discover your sister's journal and notes in different ways. You may find out she's gay earlier in the game, or you might find out all the way at the end of the game that she's gay, you know? But then you still end up in the same, you end up with the same thing, the same ending. In Firewatch, you can play the game as you want, as in how you feel about your wife, what you do about your wife's situation, how you talk to Delilah, if you ignore her, if you speak to her, if you're nice to her, you know, all that. And at the end, there is a difference where you can go home and get to safety, or you can die in the forest. Dear Esther, it's kind of like Gone Home, where you can take different paths to get to the end game, which I did twice when I played the game. Take a different path, you get different dialogue, but you still end up at the same ending. Whereas this game, you take different paths, you get different endings no matter what. There is a normal ending, but there are different endings as well, where you can die, where you can respawn, where the narrator respawns you. And despite having so many choices in the game, if you go off course, the narrator gets upset and he wants you to play in a specific way. He thinks there's a linear path to the game when there isn't. So that's kind of interesting. That's super interesting that a game with so many choices wants you to stay linear, whereas other games that don't have as many choices allow you to branch out more.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
There's also achievement to turn off all the computers, which I don't think I can do. I didn't turn off my computer. No, turn off. I might have already screwed that one up. It's okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Stanley decided to go into the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
He's not actually.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is,
I'm not moving, dude.
Just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet?
I am.
Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I'm not leaving.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid.
Oh, no.
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how
I don't have
stupid he
family. I
is.
thought we already
That old
established
drug
this.
money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs.
Drugs and hookers. Drugs and hookers, yes. My daily life.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Ah,
In a situation
no.
like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
No, I'm fine here. Totally fine here. I don't think I'm going to move. There's gonna be no more commentary, is there? Alright, let's get the hell out of here.
Second player, it's good to have you on board.
Second player.
I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Alright, narrator.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Walk
upstairs
down.
to his boss's office.
Walk down.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
I couldn't.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken
We're going in
that
circles.
risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
Another
maybe
one.
I am
Vending
crazy.
machine.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh,
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
they were.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the
Oh,
ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too.
there it is.
It was so much fun.
This
and
music.
Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything
Exactly.
that I'm doing and thinking?
Finally, Stanley.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
You're not going to wake up, Stanley.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
You aren't, though.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I'm real.
It's going red.
I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Shit.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Stanley!
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
She turned and ran, and that was it for Stanley. Poor Stanley. Now I think we have one or two more things, really, to explore. There's a phone. Who farted? Can I pick up this phone? I can't. Okay. So we are gonna go and do a thing.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping, coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs.
We're also
to
gonna
his
unlock an
boss's
achievement
office.
over here, which is
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing
got
through
the 8th
papers
achievement.
on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues.
What
to
was the
his
code?
situation.
1357?
But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose
Nope.
be? In fact,
One-
this keypad
2845.
guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet.
And Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Open
So
up
he
the thing.
relaxed for a few moments with some
Oh
calm new age
no. I'm so not interested in this. Come on.
music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
We're taking the other path, not the one straight ahead. That said, the one that said escape. There's one more secret thing I know you can do in this game, but I'm not sure how you can unlock it. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
Escape.
read Mind
No,
Control
whoops.
Facility.
Escape. Escape. Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Escape. We are escaping.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Escape. We are
At this
escaping.
point, Stanley was making a conscious,
I am.
concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Whoa.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
We
he
are
reflected that
dying.
His life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow
I do know
vision
the real
of what
story.
this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh. Oh. So
Farewell,
close.
Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Enter
In
narrator
a single
2.
visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated
Ah.
as the machine crushed every bone in his
Oh.
body, killing him instantly.
Ow. Okay. So the narrator got a narrator. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created
Are
for
we
you
in
long in
heaven?
advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
That was kind of interesting to hear, where she mentioned since everything was already planned out, death was meaningless. That kind of relates really well to our games, because I guess why we don't have the option of dying, really, in Dear Esther, why maybe we kept coming back to life, because when a story is so planned out and the ending will always be the same no matter what, death is pointless. Because if you die, you change the ending, but the ending has to remain the same. Gone Home, there's no option to die, of course, because you're just in your house. There's no enemies, nothing, but they don't provide you with the option of hurting the narrator or any of that, because the ending is the same. Firewatch is a little bit different because the end you can choose to die, but it's kind of open-ended because they don't really talk about it. It just leaves, the helicopter goes away and you kind of assume that Henry's dead. Um, while in a game, you don't die, you pass out because and the ending's the same no matter what. Even if you don't pass out, even if you continue, you don't eat food and you're like in that weakened state, the ending is the same. There's really no point in passing out or any of that. Whereas this game, it always changes. It kind of goes back to what I said before about how the narrator wants everything to be linear, story-wise. He wants us to follow a specific path, even though there's so many choices in the game. There's so many ways you can branch out. So if he wanted us in such a linear path, there would be no reason to have death in this game, because there's no point. You end up with the same ending no matter what. But we are given the choice to die. It does mean something in this game because it'll affect the ending. We can die and reset, and that's it. That was the ending of the game. We can go on the lift, jump off, and that's the ending of the game, It's different. Or we can do what we want, do what the narrator wants, go in the single path, and get out, and that's a different ending. So it does show that if the game is linear, and in a sense, in a majority of the game, death is pointless because no matter what, it doesn't change anything. Whereas here, it is important because it makes a difference. It changes how you play the game. But yeah, that's enough talking from me. The Office. So this is basically how the game, like artwork for the game, like the layout. I kind of want a desk like that. I have a desk like this kind of, but mine's kind of breaking down because it's not real wood or not good quality. Filing cabinets. I guess that's how you get the achievement for the turning all the computers off, because you have to get to those as well. That's cool. Maintenance room. Credits. Boss's office. Wall clock. Narration outtakes. The voice of the narrator recorded dialogue of the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development.
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him? Button pushing.
Was button pushing.
Plausible to you?
Oh, they should have kept that in the game. Oh, there's one thing we didn't get in the game, I know for sure. So we have to redo that. I'll redo that. The outside. Freedom ending. That's the first thing we got.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Oh. we were squished. Stanley was squished. Starting over? Are we resetting? Do I have to reset myself? Oh shit, I have to reset myself, I think. Okay. Begin the game again. Okay, that was kind of cool because Stanley's dead. There's no, you know, the narrator who usually resets the game was gone. So that was interesting. I don't remember that part exactly. Everything else I remembered a little bit more, like exploring the area.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Now,
What could it mean?
let us...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let us do a thing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh. Can I use the bathroom? I can. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. What kind of painting is that? Oh, go up, up. The soft Stanley Parable. Oh, he's singing. The narrator's singing. Can I go down? I can't go up. Can I not do anything? I can't. Okay. That was a waste of time.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Ah. Never mind then. Thank you.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I am.
The lights rose on an enormous room
Open
packed
up.
with television screens.
Let me
What
through.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
So here's the thing we
Stanley
can do.
decided that this machinery would never
'Cause
again
we set
exert
off.
its terrible power over another human life.
What if you do
For
on?
he would dismantle the controls once
Nope.
and for... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my
I already clicked the big red
trash,
button.
You're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Shit.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode,
We're dead.
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
It's not,
It's
actually.
your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious...
I know the numbers don't do
all of them
anything.
is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that?
No.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
Okay,
30
I'm not
seconds
moving.
until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Ah. And we have died. Yep, we are dead. Now there's one thing I don't know how to get, I'm not sure. Which is basically...
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
Let's try this again.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Let's hope that the door doesn't close on us. So we're back to this. This is the game again. Clicking on a door.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction
50,
of
yep.
witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
50 clicks. We are clicking 50 times. So like I was saying, there is a different thing in the game where if you don't follow him or follow what he wants, basically there are a bunch of like lines leading you to different paths.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a
And I'm not sure how to get that. I don't remember how to get that.
Hustle, Stanley.
I think most of you
I
know
want
by
some
now.
commitment,
If
a
you, because this is an
willingness
old
to go
game.
all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Okay, it's still open. Because last time it closed, and that was the problem we had, that the door closed, and I was stuck. I couldn't go back.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Gonna get the achievement.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. Where's 415? You said 10
Now,
clicks?
back to door number 437.
437. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Copy
All right,
machine.
back to room 417. I'm
417.
really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
417. 417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Oh god damn it. Where's 419?
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416.
We've almost got it!
Copy
Now the
machine.
Copy machine, do that one again!
Is the copy machine in here? No, it's only over there. Copy machine. Copy machine.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
430. 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
That wasn't 5 clicks though.
Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Okay, that was exciting. Oh, I think I remembered what we didn't do. Also, let me check this
When
out.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
'Cause
he
you remember
wanted
there
to
was a
stop by
door?
the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge.
There's always something
What a
different
room,
when I come
Stanley thought
here.
to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room. But eager to get
You see,
back
we
to
never
business,
went here.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got
Nope.
back on track.
Going down. Yeah, this was what we didn't do. And because we had the choice of going to the blue and red.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
But I don't want to go left. Fine.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No,
Nope.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear. Would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Are you sure? This way, going down.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
No.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
No. Fucking narrator.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What else can I do? Ah.
When Stanley... Wait.
What?
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did
No.
you move the story somewhere or...
Where would I move it?
Why am I asking you?
Exactly.
I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley,
Let's find the story.
I want to go this way. I think I went the wrong way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Starting again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
Are you sure about that?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
If you're sure. We're going in circles. No?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Oh.
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Okay, I'll take it.
I know you put in a lot of hard work.
I did.
And it really paid off. So, good job.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Again, we're starting again. Okay, here it is. What I was talking about, the line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Are you sure? Alright. Following the line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Okay, that's kind of shocked me. That scared me a little bit.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
This one?
This fern will be very important later in the story.
Alright.
Make sure you study it closely
It won't
and
be.
remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
We're done. Don't need to worry about the stupid fern.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
So many restarts.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ah.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your
We're just going in
imagination.
circles.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, we're just going in circles.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Oh, and it's gone.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Open the door. Here we are.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Confusion ending.
Confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
8
That's
times.
really how
Find a
all this
bookstore.
goes?
Get bored and leave.
It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it?
Maybe.
Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree?
It
I'm
is.
not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Oh, shit. And we are back here. Okay, so I think that was pretty much all we could do. Let me go to the menu. Yeah, I think that was pretty much one of the last things we can do in the game, other than the achievements, which is speedrun the game, click every computer off, and a few other things that I'm not too sure about. But yeah, that was the Stanley Parable. Most people are familiar with this game. I'm pretty familiar with this game. There was one thing I did not remember about this game, but everything else I pretty much knew. Now going back to my professor's questions, what he wants us to do in the game, or what he wants us to look at in the game. Barely any music. Music only when the narrator kind of realizes something or we get to a very important thing. But there was far less music in this game than any other game we've played so far. Directions, a lot more direction in this game. So much more direction in this game. But then there was direction, but then there was also the thing where you should not follow direction. The element of not following direction at all and just going your own way, which was interesting. Most of the game takes place in an office. So it's kind of like not Dear Esther, Gone Home. In that you kind of stay in one area, other than we kind of go out at the end of the freedom ending, we go out. So that was a bit different, but you overall stay in the same place. What else? Nothing really to say on the environment. The thing I found the most interesting, and it's something that we read previously in my class for the week 2, we read about one of the objectives was to read this passage and compare it to our games. The passage was about how people view games, interactive narrative games, and books and novels the same, in that, there's one set story. There's no each time you read, each time you play, it's a little bit different, but overall it's very linear in that sense. And that's what this game definitely differs on. It's not linear at all. You have choices, and those choices affect the ending. It doesn't matter. It'll always affect the ending. You can go to the right door and continue disobeying the narrator, and it'll be a different ending. So not linear in the slightest. And I've said, you can go back, I've said so many times how the narrator wants you to follow a specific path, even though there's so many options. And that was really ironic in this game, that there's so many options in the game. There's so many choices you can make in this game. But there's actually a person telling you that he wants you to follow a specific path, that he made the game in this specific way, and that you need to follow a specific path to the end, even though there's so many options. Where in the other games, there's no one telling you that you must follow this, you must follow that, you must go this way. But there are far less choices in the game. That's what I found interesting. That's what I found kind of cool about this. But yeah, out of all the games we've played so far, this has to be my favorite, just because narrator is sarcastic. It's a parody pretty much of game tropes, and it's a fun game to play, even if you played it a few times before. Next week we are playing a game, Kentucky something, I think it's called. It's a episodic game. Kentucky Zero, I want to say, or something like that. It's Kentucky Route Zero. It's an episodic game. It's an indie game, but episodic. There are only 4 episodes out right now. The 5th one, I'm not sure when it comes out, but my professors assured us that even if you don't finish the ending, play the ending, it's still an interesting game. So looking forward to that. I'm not sure how long that will take. I'm not sure if I'm going to release that an episode a day or I'm going to release it all in 4 part all together, because that wouldn't make sense. I guess since I probably will continue and play the ending of the game later on. But we will see about that. I think that's it. This has been interesting. Replaying this game after a number of years has been interesting. And it's playing this game, I guess more like playing this game while taking this class, where there are so many specific things we need to focus on, has definitely been interesting, because you really kind of take time to think about what was going on in the game, what was happening in the game, why did these things happen, why did he say what he said. And that's something that I never really took into account with this game before, so that was really cool. I think I have a lot to write about and talk about in my class. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the Stanley Parable. I know I did not do a few things, and I apologize for that. I probably will do those on my own time, maybe. But yeah, I will see you guys later.